Hello everyone, this is Apple, and welcome to my feature showcase for my latest avatar, Serathil. To start off, there are actually 3 variants I made of this avatar. There's the very poor, the poor version, and the medium, all named based off of their rank, their performance rank. To start off, I'm going to show the very poor. That's what I'm in right now. You already have a little preview of what this is going to look like. But to start off is the very poor, which I'm in right now because it has everything that the other ones have and more. So to begin, this is what it looks like. Dynamic bones everywhere, glitter on the body, yada yada. And this is what the circle menu looks like when you first go to it. When you first go to expressions, you have everything there. Of course, we're going to go work our way this way. That's a lie. We're actually going to do these two and then go around the other way. All right, to start off is hue slider. That's pretty basic. I mean, like all my avatars will have this. I don't know. Let's say the world you're in has more cyan vibe, or maybe that's your color. Go ahead, just do that. Doing this, that's fun and all, but rainbow mode is where it's at for me. If you're, I don't know, in your party world and you're just having fun, taking shots, whatever, this is the go-to vibe for me. Okay, rainbow mode off. And moving on from there, this avatar does have the Locomotion fix by Wet Cat and all those people. So they'll all be credited on Gumroad. Don't worry about that. That said, there are some cool things involving Locomotion here, including the disable full body tracking Locomotion. So right now, if I walk around, I will slide. If I have that turned off, I will walk normal. And like this says, that FBT full body tracking, this button won't do anything unless you have feet trackers and all that. So yeah. Some other things like right now I will walk, but if you go down low onto the ground, I'm just going to place this move down there. You also won't walk it around right here. Like you can actually see as I start to move up, you'll start to walk. Yeah. Oop, I fell. Yes. Okay. And there are also some special animations for sitting or I have a laying down animation and for this one where you're laying on your stomach with your feet kicked up. It's kind of cute. All right, to move on to the toggles, let's go ahead and go to the clothes one first so I can show you these. These are all the basic ones. Of course, everything can be toggled off except for the choke. Oh, ignore that. We'll get to that later. Except for the except for the choker, you can't toggle that one off. If you want to make a toggle for that, go ahead. I honestly had just forgotten about it, and I kind of like keeping it on. So, all right. First off is the mask toggle. So I have eyes. If you want to actually look at the mask a little bit closer, you can. There is a lot of detail. Whoa. There's a lot of detail on it with the normal map and everything, and you might see the reflections there. I spent a lot of work on that one. All right, so there's that mask, and then we have the top here, which that refers to that little shirt. If you're wondering what's underneath the straps, that's going to be the straps, and of course that I'm not going to show in this video. You have an idea of what that's going to look like. Going on is the skirt. So this is going to be the glittery skirt you see here, but it's also going to be this little piece on the thigh. And the thigh high is just a single thigh high right here. If you want to get a close look, there it is. It is actually like more of a fishnet thigh high, but I just call it a thigh high. All right. That's that. Moving on, the sandals. Fun fact about these sandals, if you get down low and walk a little bit, you can see, it's hard to tell, but, well, you can't really tell from my camera. But the flip-flops actually do flop. They move with the toe, not the foot, but obviously I don't have a toe tracker. I don't think that's a thing. Just trust me, they do flop. All right. And of course, the straps. So let me put all this stuff back on except for the mask so I can show you the faces. Also, let me disable this so I don't actually... No. I'll fix that. Let me disable that so I can show you the faces so I don't accidentally bring it out with finger point. We'll get to that. So first off, the faces. I'll just go through them real quick, going from, I don't know. We're going to start with just the neutral face, obviously. As eye tracking, if you look up or if the eyes look up, they'll open. If they look down, they'll close a little bit. Just a cool little touch. It blinks every now and then, but all that eye tracking stuff will disable if you do a face. So you can guarantee that you'll be looking at someone if you do something. And it also, you won't blink in the middle of doing a face, so it doesn't look jank. And it instantly turns back on if you let go. So that's nice. So first off is open hand is going to be happy. Fist is angry. And if you do rock and roll, which is cursor index, all the hands are going to be in the left hand, by the way, so you don't accidentally like pick something up and do a face, or you can use that spring joint ball with your right hand and not worry about faces. Okay, so rock and roll. All right, so going from angry fist to rock and roll, you can have a very, if I can do it, very angry face. There we go. Yes, this is me with the fucking index. Okay, moving on is going to be thumbs up, which is this little like sad begging face. I think is kind of cute. Peace sign. Nope. Peace sign is lewd. I really don't know what's up with my index today. Peace sign is lewd, as always. Point is like a surprise, like, oh God, look over there kind of face. And I think that's finger gun is smug. So I'm going to be like, okay. All right, that's all for the faces. Pretty basic stuff. I'm going to keep the faces on for now. I'm going to keep the mask off. And then we're going to move on after the clothes. Oh, I guess I should have done this next. Other than the clothes, you also have the demon part. So once you have all your clothes off, you can also take off your wings and tails if you really want to. And I actually did kind of like a special little, whoop, there you go. Just got a sneak peek of it. I did the UVs in a way that they toggle off really nicely. You can see with the tail right there, it will always like flow out from one end to the other end. And that's not point to point. That is the basic point we dissolve for all my Avatar creators out there who know what I'm talking about. Point to point will go from like your head to your like below your feet. And it will always be this vertical. You can always set like an offset so it goes this way, but that's in world space. So if I were to like lay down onto the ground, it would still dissolve from like up here down to there, and the entire tail will like toggle off at once. But with this, you don't have that issue. It is still following the tail. Yeah, a little neat. For all my non-creators out there, you just TLDR, the dissolves will look cool at all times. You don't got to worry about that. Okay. Oh, and all these toggles work with the colors. So your colors will change colors. I mean, your dissolves will change colors with the color you choose, including like the hue shift. That will also, yeah, kind of prerequisite for my avatars. If y'all have seen any of my past work. Okay, this is where it gets kind of cool. Well, all right, let's go over the boring. So the spring joint's cool to me. Everyone, other people out there that might be buying this avatar, this is for y'all. So the dynamic penetration system, it's actually on Gumroad. You have to buy this separately from my avatar and just import it into Unity, and it like in order to link the penetration system with Poyomi Tune, you actually need Poyomi Pro, which is a Patreon shader. So you have to buy his shader, and you also have to buy this shader if you want this. I know it's a lot of steps, but for those of you who actually want this, it's pretty worth it. Okay, so what this does, with all that out of the way. Ooh, a little bit of lag. So these are actually all lights. This is all using lights, so it can be a little laggy. That's why it's on the very port one. Don't be bringing this out in a public world, please. So you have, well, it's a dildo as it says there. By itself, nothing really cool, except whenever you start turning on these. Now I have these set up so you can only turn one on at a time. Obviously, it's on my right hand, and don't turn that one on. If you put the dodo on, it doesn't really work. Now with the left hand, I can clearly just grab it. As you can see, it's dynamically penetrating the orifice. You can't turn it the wrong way. It does some funky stuff. Please don't do that to your partner. And yes, this works across avatars. Once again, for those people that are new and haven't seen this and have been living under a rock, this is for interaction between avatars. It's really cool, really nifty. I have one on my left, one on my right, one on my mouth. This penetrator doesn't exactly show it because it's bigger than the mouth, but the mouth will open. You can kind of see the tongue, and the further in you go, the eyes will close. That's cool. And then of course there's one down there too. There is a shape key to open up the. Okay, so there is actually like a modeled out cooch on here, but it wasn't originally meant for this base, so I fit it as best as I could. Anyways, there was a shape key to like open it as this went in, and I attempted to set it up like I did the mouth, but for some reason the shader just wasn't having it, and it wouldn't do the shape key down there. So if those of y'all are out there that really want to get that set up, you're gonna have to figure that out on your own. I couldn't. Okay. Now moving on to the thing I actually built and is like really cool and I really love. It's going to be the spring joint. And now this isn't just any ordinary spring joint. So to start off, this spring joint is building off of a lot of my previous spring joints. Well, it's more of like another idea building towards like the ultimate spring joint I have in mind. But now right now you can see I can pass it from one hand to the next. It's a double-handed spring joint, like a lot of the ones that have been out there lately. Of course, I can put it into world space. And what's cool about this is there are some bug spring joints out there where like it will move with your head, and you can see it jittering it a little bit there in the mirror, but don't worry about that. This will not move for me. It will not move for someone else looking at it. That said, it will move like that. It will jitter with my head, but it will stay in this relative area. So yeah, I can walk away from it, and I've had plenty of people be like, "What the fuck is that?" And I'll be like, "Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it." Okay. And of course, there's only two options in here, which is disable and bouncy ball core. Which we'll get to that. This is where it gets really complicated. The controls, well, it's complicated, but I try to keep it simple. Finger point will attract it. Like if you ever want to bring it to a hand, just do finger point, okay? Let go of it, and it will let go. Now my go-to put away an object is to do fist, but since this is on both fists, you don't want to just do one fist and put it away. So instead I do both fists and it'll put away. So if you ever bring this out and you're like, how the fuck do I put it away? You do both fists. Okay. All right. Now this is where this shit gets kind of cool. Whenever you have it on a finger, you just lift up your thumb to do finger gun. And there you go, it exploded. And but wait, that's not all. You see this little core right here? It kind of looks like a spring joint ball on its own, right? Well, you'd be right. It's its own spring joint ball that you can take out with your other hand. And now you have two. And it's also a throw joint. This is not Cam's third joint. I just want to say, Cam, please don't sue me. I actually developed this one completely on my own. I even refrained from looking at Cam's third joint. I did watch his tutorial just to get a general idea of what I needed to do, make sure there was no weird tricks in there. But at the end of the day, I figured this one out on my own, and it actually resulted in it working sorta in the mirror. Cool little trick there. Yeah. And so you can have two of them. As you can see, I can throw out one, I can throw out two, and if I throw out another one, the first one will disappear. So it's not like you're limited to just two. You can have as many as you want, but it's what's called a ring buffer. I don't know. It's just something in the particle effect. Of course, I haven't spent so much time developing this, not as much as Cam has, so the only thing on here is you can throw it. There's not much else. There's a distortion particle whenever it hits things, so you can, if you hit someone in the head, it will do this, which is kind of funny, little disorienting, but it's not the worst. It's not super intrusive. It's not super invasive. And I think that's a neat little touch, a neat little like, hey, look at me kind of thing. I don't know. And of course, if you don't want that, by the way, to get rid of the balls at any point, you do a fist with that hand, and the same thing goes with like this. You can do a fist to get rid of it. And you're probably wondering like, oh, what if I want to throw the ball with my left hand? Well, if you open this back up and let go of the ball, you can do anything to let it go. Yeah, anything, even fists. If this is open, fist will not get rid of these. So just letting go of finger point will put it back, and then you can go back to finger point, and it's back to the original mode with two hands. And of course, when it's on your left hand, you can open it with that. So it's ambidextrous. It works with either hand. And Cam, you were curious what those loops were. This is what all these loops are for in the animator. It can distinguish between left hand and right hand. I had to like duplicate all the animations. Well, the animation files are the same, but the states are separate. Because you had to be able to tell if you're on the left or the right. Really annoying. Of course, these are on world space as well. And if you ever want to drop the, if you don't want to do bouncy ball anymore, you can disable the bouncy ball core right here. You can disable the bouncy ball core right here, and you can drop it into world space just like that. I think that's kind of neat too, because that's another one of those things where people will be like, "What is this dot over here? Is this part of your avatar?" I'm like, yeah, it's part of my avatar. Whew. Man, I am rambling a lot today. Okay. With that, we are almost done. There is one last feature on this avatar I really want to show off. This is another Poyomi Patreon effect. Well, it's Patreon right now, but it will be coming to the free version of Poyomi Toon Shader soon, TM, I am told. It is Audio Link. If you know what Audio Link is, that's cool. For those that don't, stick around. Give me 1 second, and we will be in the world as soon as I come back. And we are back. Let me just go ahead and hit play on this, and hopefully it will work. Haha. Okay, cool. Let me turn up the world volume. That would really help. All right. So for those that don't know, Audio Link is referring to the Udon Audio Link, and that, of course, everyone that knows Udon refers to worlds. As you can see, the world is reacting to music that is playing right now. Pretty cool. Let me turn this down a little bit. God. I really don't know how to describe it. It basically, there's this little bit of tech that allows you to use avatars with Audio Link now, and it's built into Poyomi Toon Shader. This is coming to free, like I said, and it's currently in Patreon. So if you want this right now, you want it with this avatar, you will have to, once again, buy Poyomi Pro. It's not that expensive. If you can buy this avatar, you can definitely afford this. Once again, if you get Poyomi's Patreon, I don't remember exactly what tier it will have to be. I will post that on Gumroad. You will be able to use dynamic penetration system once you buy the dynamic penetration system, and you'll also be able to use spring weights. Well, to be fair, you could actually use a dynamic penetration system if you just buy dynamic penetration system. You wouldn't be able to integrate it in with the shape keys for the face, or for the vagina, but that didn't work anyway. So you just wouldn't be able to use it for the face. Okay. And I love this Audio Link system. As you can see, the shirt is reacting, the straps are reacting, I have the tattoos, everything. This is all manually set up to different, like the bass, treble, and like high mids, and it was like highs, mids, I don't even remember. Just 4 different audio channels. I have the straps on bass, so same with the eyes, I believe. Yeah. Whew. And of course, this all changes with your color. So if I'm red, it'll do it. If I'm in rainbow mode, it'll still do it. It's really, the eyes look kind of derpy with rainbow mode, by the way. Just you know, go with it. I love it. Let me go ahead and pick out the shirt so you can see what that looks like with it. Of course, it doesn't affect the dissolve. All right, song's over, and with that, so is this preview. Wait, I forgot to talk about the poor, the medium version. Ha! Poor version has everything that the very poor version has, but less. It has just all the dynamic bones, has audio link, and it has all of the toggles that you want, and yeah, all that jazz. As you can tell, what's missing is a spring joint ball and the dynamic penetration system, of course, because that just knocked it over to very poor. And the medium version has everything that the poor version does, except it lowered the quality of the dynamic bones, and there's no colliders on them. So you just have less fluid dynamic bones. The hair still looks pretty good. The tail's not as good, and it doesn't collide with anything. But you still have rainbow mode, and you still have all of the toggles. Okay, now for real. Bye.